Hey guys, I got a favor to ask. We have this pretty cool idea for a video that we want to do in connection with Easter and even a couple days leading up to it. It would require you to film yourself much like I'm filming myself. And we would just ask you to answer a couple questions. We'd ask that you would start by giving us your name and then saying what your life was like before you met Jesus, how and when you met Jesus, and then what your life was like after Jesus. Now, Charlie's going to give you a couple tips, couple hints on how to do this, and then I'm going to be back with some more information after that.
Hey everybody, Charlie here to just give you a few tips and tricks and to give you an example of what it looks like to record a video testimony. So here's a few tips. Tip number one, get into a room with some decent lighting and it'll make everything look a lot better. So that's more of a technical tip. Tip number two, write out your answers beforehand so that you can come up with an idea of how to phrase it. So you get all your thoughts out on paper, and then that will help you lead into tip number three, which is to keep it short. We're going to have a lot of people answering these, and our hope is that we just have you guys share 1 or 2 sentences for each of our questions. So with all that being said, here are the 4 things we're technically asking you to do. First, to introduce yourself. Second, in 1 or 2 sentences, explain what your life was like before you were following Jesus. Third, go ahead and let us know how you encountered Jesus. Was that at church? Was there someone who introduced you to him, who invited you? And third, how has your life changed since you met Jesus? This is more of a big picture thing, a couple sentences again, just explaining, some things that have changed in your life, some ways that you're different than you were before. So I'm just going to give you a quick example of what one of your videos may look like. You would start off by introducing yourself. So something as simple as, "Hey TCC, I'm Charlie." Next, you would just tell a little bit about what your life was like before you met Jesus. So for me, I would say something along the lines of, before I met Jesus, I was really worried about what everyone else thought about me. I was really worried about performing well, about looking good to everyone else, and about being accepted. Next, you're going to go ahead and just give 1 or 2 sentences about how you encountered Jesus. So maybe your story is that you knew Jesus for a long time. Maybe you just recently met Jesus, or maybe you grew up going to church but never really committed your life to Jesus until more recently. So for me, I would say something like this. I met Jesus when I was really young. I was baptized at a young age and I went to church, but it wasn't until I was older that I got really serious about following him and committing my life to him and being a disciple. I was mentored by a couple people. They all took me under their wings and taught me what it meant to really be a disciple. Finally, we want you to explain our third question, which is how your life looks different since you've encountered Jesus, how your life has changed trajectory completely since you met him. So for me, I'd say something like this. Since I met Jesus, my life has been so different. I'm no longer caught up in what everyone thinks about me. I know and finally believe that I am loved by God, that even though I don't have to earn his love, he gives it to me anyway. And that's where I find my purpose. So that's just a quick way of how to answer these questions. Some tips, some tricks, and some examples of what it looks like to film a video testimony. This whole thing should only take you 45 seconds to a minute long, minute and a half. It's not as scary as it sounds. So if you have any questions, if you want any help working through these things, any technical help, just reach out to any of us and we'd love to help you. Thanks, TCC.
So guys, it's just that easy. Charlie gave us some really great tips to help the end product, but we're just looking forward to seeing each other. I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing each other. Can't wait to hear everybody's stories. Once again, you can just send it to me on Facebook, Drew Dodd, or you can email it to me, drew@troycc.org. If you need some help, shoot me a message and I will do my best to help you. Guys, this is going to be something really cool. I'm looking forward to all of the submissions. Thanks again in advance.